Hey there guys, I'm back to another video. Today I will be doing another tips and tricks video, and today I will be showing you some ways on how you can store your video game collection. Okay, so the first way on how you can go and store your video games is by using a bookshelf or bookcase, whatever you want to call it. Now, personally, my bookshelf holds maybe 300 plus games if I use every single shelf. Now, personally, I don't do that. I keep the bottom shelf to my Nintendo Powers, comic books, whatever books I want to have. And then my second shelf, I have my amiibos there. So not every single shelf is being used for video games necessarily. I could hold, like I said earlier, plus 300 games on this shelf alone, bookshelf. And that is great. That is freaking awesome. If you have a lot of games, you could go and use it like that. Now, if you have mobile games like DS, 3DS, NES, or PlayStation 1 games even, those may not be handheld games, but those are small enough cases. And, NES carts are pretty small as well. And fun fact, all four of those medias that I just mentioned, 3DS, DS, PlayStation 1, and NES carts, all have these same dimensions in terms of their size. Like if you hold a PS1, 3DS/DS case, and a PS1 case, I believe, or NES cart, whichever one I didn't mention, you will see that they are pretty much the same exact size or very close to. So that is freaking awesome. And when you are doing this bookshelf method, 8-Bit Eric, way back then, it was like a couple years ago, he made a video on how you can go and have one shelf on your bookshelf turn into two mini shelves. Now, how does he do this? All right, so if you have a lot of DS, 3DS, whatever games it may be, if you have a lot of those and you want to go and stack them on top of one bookshelf shelf, basically, what he did was that he took a poster board, he cut it into the size that he needed, length and width, put it in between the NES games on top and the NES games on bottom, put the poster board in between, and it worked great. If you have a bunch of games, the poster board will hold itself up because of the games on the bottom. If you want to go and see more on this, I will put the video in the description below. He did a much better job explaining it than I did, so if you guys want more information on that, be sure to check it out after this video. So bookshelves are just great, and on top of that, you could go and personalize your own collection, which you don't want your collection to be similar to your friend's collection or another YouTuber's collection. You want your collection to be your own collection. So what I do is that I put little figurines, little plushes, little promotional items in front of my games. Why do I do this? Because I like having my game collection be personalized. I like having my game collection be slightly different from my friend's collection or my YouTuber friend's collection or whatever it may be. Just having your own little personalized little figures, toys in front of your games is really nice. And it's not exactly that much of a pain, depending on how many toys and figures you put in front of your games, to go and get a game out. It'll take maybe maximum 30 seconds, heck, even maybe 45 if you do have a lot of figures in front of your games. But if you don't, maximum 30 seconds, I would say, to go and get the game, to go and move the figure, get the game, put the figure back, or do whatever you want with the figure before you put the game back in. So there's a lot you can go and do with bookshelves. And on top of that, if you don't like the bookshelves, you could just make your own custom shelf. Make your own custom bookshelf if you want to go and have the exact dimensions you want for your games and stuff like that. And personally, if you are on a budget and you want to go and store your games, I would recommend doing custom shelves, because custom shelves, it may seem a lot of work. It may seem a lot of time being used, time consuming, but at the end of the day, you will have a great bookshelf for your games. Like I said earlier, it will cost you less doing this custom shelf method than going to IKEA or Walmart or Target or whatever it may be, buying a bookshelf there, because the bookshelves there are already built, or they have the pieces already and you can't really modify them as much unless you really know what you're doing in terms of that kind of stuff, which personally I don't. So if I were you, I would, especially if you are on a budget, make a custom shelf. But if you do like having your own personalized little figures in front of your games like I do, like a weirdo, you could just get the bookshelf. The bookshelf that I have right now cost me $60, I believe, at IKEA. Not exactly sure. I couldn't find it on the website, so I'm not exactly sure if they stopped making it or if I'm crazy or something. But yeah, this bookshelf right here, I'm pretty sure it was $60. And you know what? For this kind of a bookshelf that's pretty tall and could hold plus 300 games if I wanted to, that's freaking awesome. Now, just like a little general thing other than bookshelves and shelves in general. You could use plastic bins. You could go and use boxes. You could use, heck, your dresser. If you have a dresser in your room, if you guys don't know what a dresser is, it's basically where you store your clothes. Basically, you have your folded clothes in there. It could be your underwear, your shirts, your pants, whatever it may be. You have them in there usually, if you have a dresser. And if you don't, you know, they're probably clothes are probably in your closet. But anyways, back to the dresser. Dressers can be used to store video games because they have shelves. Now, if you have some empty shelves on your dresser, you could put your games in there. My friend does that. It works pretty well. I'm not even gonna lie. He could store a lot of different games in there. He stores his PlayStation, his GameCube, his N64 games in there. And I would say in total, it would probably be like 50 games per shelf, maybe even more, depending on what kinds of games he has. Because my friend, I believe he stores a bunch of like different game systems in there. Like he has his DS games, he has his 3DS games, he has his PlayStation games, his Xbox games, whatever it may be. He has them in these dressers. And you know what? They all vary in sizes as well, especially the old games, you know, with the cartridges and stuff like that. So be sure to be wary on what you store your games. And you know what? Work with what you have at the moment. If you need to buy more storage, I would definitely recommend you make your own custom shelf. If you can't make your own custom shelf, I would say buy a bookshelf, maybe a small little bookcase, get maybe some plastic bins, some plastic boxes, whatever it may be. Just work with what you have, and best of luck. Don't spend too much money, because media shelves, such as ones found on Walmart, could run you up to $130. So you don't want to spend that kind of money just to go and have your games on a shelf. So those are some of the ways on how you can store your video games. Now, if you guys have a way on how you can store your video games that I didn't show within this video, be sure to share them on social media. My Facebook and Twitter will be in the description below. Along with, you can share them in the comments below as well. So I'll be sure to go and check it out, maybe reply to you. We'll see exactly what happens. So I think that is about it. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time with more videos. Game on, gamers!